Welcome to ISOL 531, Access Control. I am Dr. Sal. I'm going to be your instructor for the next 8 weeks, and we have a lot we're going to cover. We're going to cover, access control is an important part of everything that we do in the IT world. We have to protect our data. If you look at all the security breaches we have, and throughout the last couple of years, they're just getting more and more bold and more powerful. So we're going to learn how to take control of our environment, right from the physical environment to the building, the servers, to the internet. How do we protect from that? So we're going to cover about 14 chapters throughout the next couple of weeks. So we have a lot that we're going to cover. It's about 2 chapters a week. So first, you should take a look at the syllabus. The syllabus spells out how everything and what we're going to be doing. It's a high-level view and everything that we have. So take a look at the syllabus. If we take a look at Blackboard, you're going to see the syllabus is right there. You have the introduction, which you're watching. So each week, if you take a look, all 8 weeks are set up here. And what I want you to do is you're going to click on, if you look at week 1, I have your weekly assignments due each week on what's going to be there. So you're going to usually have at least one discussion question. You have your reading assignments, which will be the chapters. We have weekly discussion questions on what's going on. First week, you actually have an introduction. So I want you to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what are you doing, what are you looking for, what do you do for fun, what do you hope to get out of this class. It's all there. You will have a weekly paper. The weekly paper is 2 to 3 pages in length on whatever the topic is that week. We'll always have a chapter quiz. It's usually about 10 to 15 questions, multiple choice. And the last thing is you're going to have a journal entry. The journal entry is a simple, hey, this is what I learned this week. So I want you to take a look at that. I have under week 1, you'll see lecture notes. So under there, you'll see the PowerPoint presentations, the actual PowerPoints, and sometimes there'll actually be some additional videos, usually from the web, something about, well, the first one is cybercrime. What does it mean to business, human hacking? And so we have some additional videos that you can watch also. And you can also comment on that. That will count as part of your discussion question as a response. No matter what, you always have to respond to a discussion question with the appropriate answer. Next, there's the assignment tab, folder. If you look at that folder, everything is listed on what you're doing. All your instructions are there, so please take a look at that. So under week 1, you're going to have your week 1 introduction. Introduce yourself, as I talked about. This week, we're going to have 2 discussion questions for week 1. So you're going to take a look at that and see what's going on each week. And that's how it's set up. We have a journal entry each week. You're usually going to have a paper each week and a quiz. Now, our class ends a little early. It ends... So we need to make sure of that, so your last couple of classes, so you know how that works. As I said, security, access control is an important part of how we do business today. Every company needs it, no matter if you're a mom and pop shop to IBM. Everyone has some form of process control, access control. And it's an important part of how we keep our data safe, because data is the key to every business. And someone said recently, data is the new oil. It's a boom. It is on the black market. People want this. So this is what this class is going to be about. How do we secure that data? How do we go about it? Also on the questions, I have a question, what made you smile? You can always add to that. Doesn't count towards anything, but keeps you active. I'm a big fan on this. I will always ask usually what's made you smile or keep smiling. You can also reach me on my email. I check it daily, so I'm always looking at my email. Please reach out to me. There's also a student question link that you can look at. I just want to talk a little bit about, if you take a look at your content folder, you'll see at the very bottom, I have an APA information. If you haven't used APA, please take a look at these videos. It makes using APA really simple. You can download a template. It's pretty much there for you. You just put it in. Also, using the citations tab on Microsoft Word makes it so much easier. Watch these 2 videos. Even though it's version 10, it works the same way. So definitely watch those videos. Also, I just want to talk a little bit about plagiarism. Everything is checked through how I have it set up, when you submit a paper, it is automatically checked through Turnitin. So please check that before you turn anything in. See how it looks, because I am going to check it. Also, I'm going to show you, take a look at your rubric. There's a rubric for your discussion questions. There's a rubric for your weekly paper, which I'll show you in a second. So please check the rubrics at least the first time, and then you'll see it's the same rubric every week, so you'll know exactly what you're going to be graded on. I'm looking for APA style. I want a cover sheet. Please put citations in. Give the credit to those people, because you're going to lose points for that. Make sure you turn it on, turn it in. All right, let's take a look at the rubric. All right, as I said, your syllabus is here. Please read it. Each week, as I was mentioning, here is a list of everything that we're going to be doing. Each week I have this up here. Any lecture notes, PowerPoints would be in here. If you look at it, I mentioned that you have PowerPoints, just the slides. Here's my introduction about them. Also, any additional videos you might want to watch. As I said, you can watch these, you can comment these. These will count towards one of your responses. Let's take a look, go back a level for a second. And we're going to look at the assignment tab. Each week you'll see what's in here, everything that is due. So these are due on Thursday at 11:59, should be about 250 words with references. You need to respond to at least 2 classmates every week. If you want to watch one of those videos, respond to that. That will count towards one of these of your 2 classmates. All right, your weekly papers here, 2 to 3 pages, APA format. Let's take a look at the rubric on this. Here's your view our rubric. So you can take a look. This is exactly how you're going to be graded, so just take a look at it. Do you have a cover page? Gives me all the information. Do you have an introduction? This is the first paragraph. It's going to tell me what's going on. Why did you write the paper? What is the topic? What do you expect us to learn? Did you get in depth in the topic? I don't want just a brief overview. I want in depth. When you're done, you're going to tell me the conclusion. Tell me what you just told me. I'm going to be looking for citations within the paper. I'm looking for the reference page. If you give me just enough references, if I ask for 2, you give me 2, you'll get a 3. If you give me more than that, you get your 5. Paper length has to meet the requirements. Originality is being checked for plagiarism. So if your score comes back too high, you definitely won't lose any points. In addition to these 5 points you miss, you can lose more points. If it's too high, I definitely just take points off. And if it's way too high, you'll get a 0. So please check that. Grammar and APA. So this is how it's going to be graded. I simply check these off. So please look at this so you don't lose any points. The other thing, the same with your discussion question. Let's go to your discussion question so I can take a look, and you can see the rubric that I'm going to be using for that. It is graded. It is due on Thursday night at 11:59, your original post. Ooh, I don't have your discussion question. I didn't put it in, so let's take a look at it. Discussion question rubric. Here it is. You're going to be able to see exactly what it is. Let's take a look at it. So, what am I looking for? 50%. Did you discuss the topic in depth? You gave me 250 words, you cited it, and all that stuff. Engagement. You need to respond to at least 2 classmates. All right? Right here, 2 classmates I want you to respond to. That's worth 30%. Grammar, everything looks right. And the length, is it 250 words? Is it less? This is your initial response that I'm grading. This is your engagement. So I don't expect the 1 line. It has to be substantial when you respond. So that is how you're going to be graded on your discussion question. So please check that. Okay, so each discussion question will have that information. This is your introduction, and as you see, here's your week 1. There's going to be 2 questions each week, 1 per chapter is basically how I break it out. Some of you might have answered these earlier. They're going to go away shortly because that had started before by accident when we were in the process of setting this up. Some of you saw some comments. But basically, your questions are here each week. Usually what I try to do is in the content page is I'll try to open up week one at least the Friday before. I try to give you 2 weekends of work. So you can work on it. So like week 2, I'll open up the Friday of week 1, so you have the weekends to work on it. I know many of you are working in the fields, and I try to make it accommodate. If you don't understand something or you have questions, please reach out to me. If I happen to grade something incorrectly, please make sure you just shoot me an email. I do accept late assignments. However, you cannot get 100% on them. You lose at least 10%, if not more. I said 10% is the minimum, sometimes up to 20 or 30, depending on what it is, how late it is. But you can still have an opportunity to turn it in. But please take a look at it and get everything turned in on time. We are covering a lot. There's no doubt about it. There is a lot of work. We're in an 8-week period. We got to cover this entire book, so make sure you get it. The book is the 2nd edition, Access Control, Authentication, and Public Key Infrastructure by Mike Chappell and Bill Ballard, and Tricia Ballard, and Aaron Banks. So please take a look at the syllabus, get the book, and remember, what made you smile?